When people heard Daniel's salary, they assumed he had already won at life. 6 figures a year, nice apartment, new car, always well-dressed. To most people, that checklist meant success. It meant comfort. It meant security. It meant freedom. From the outside, Daniel looked like the kind of man who had everything figured out. The kind of man younger colleagues quietly admired. The kind of man relatives liked to use as an example at family gatherings. But what nobody knew was that by the 25th of every month, Daniel was already broke. Not low on money, not cutting it close. Completely broke. Not the kind of broke where you just delay a purchase. The kind where you start counting days until your next paycheck. The kind where every small problem feels like a disaster. Daniel was 32 years old and worked as a project manager at a mid-sized tech company in Chicago. He had worked hard to get there. Long nights, stressful deadlines, years of proving himself, years of staying late when others went home, years of saying yes to pressure because he believed it would all be worth it one day. When his salary finally crossed $100,000 a year, he felt like he had made it. He still remembered the email. The number on the screen didn't even feel real at first. He read it twice, then a third time, and like most people who think they've made it, he started living like it. The first upgrade was his apartment. He moved out of his small, boring one-bedroom and into a modern high-rise downtown. Floor-to-ceiling windows, a gym in the building. A view of the city he had always dreamed of, the kind of place that made people say, "Wow, this is nice," the moment they walked in. And it felt true. After all those years of struggle, wasn't this the reward? Then came the car. His old car still worked fine, but it didn't match the new version of him. It didn't match the parking garage. It didn't match the building. It didn't match the image. So he walked into a dealership one Saturday just to look. 3 hours later, he drove out in a brand new black sedan with a monthly payment that made his stomach tighten. But his ego feel amazing. For the first few weeks, he found excuses to drive more than necessary. Longer routes, extra trips, just to feel like the man he thought he had become. Then came the smaller things, better clothes, more expensive restaurants, new phone every year, weekend trips, gadgets he barely used, things that felt small in the moment, things that didn't seem dangerous, things that felt normal for someone like him. None of it felt crazy on its own, but together, it was draining his future quietly. At first, Daniel didn't notice. Every month his salary came in. Every month his bills went out. There was always just enough left to enjoy life. And when there wasn't, there was always his credit card. He told himself all the usual lies. "I'll start saving next year. My salary will increase anyway. I'm still young. I work hard. I deserve this." He said these things so often that they stopped sounding like excuses and started sounding like facts. And for a while, life agreed with him. Nothing broke. Nothing went wrong. Nothing forced him to stop. Then, one Tuesday morning, something small happened. On his way to work, his car made a strange noise. He turned up the radio and ignored it. By the afternoon, the mechanic called, "It's your transmission. It needs to be replaced." The cost? $3,600. Daniel laughed nervously and said, "Okay. When can I pick it up?" Then he opened his banking app. His savings account balance was $412. His chest tightened. He checked his credit cards, almost maxed out. He checked his main account. Rent was due in 5 days. For the first time in years, Daniel felt something he couldn't ignore. Fear, not stress, not worry. Real fear, the kind that makes your body feel cold even though you're sitting still. He paid for the repair with his credit card. That month he lived on noodles, toast, and cheap coffee. He avoided going out. He avoided his friends. He avoided looking at his phone. And for the first time, he actually looked at his finances. Not quickly, not casually. Honestly, what he saw shocked him. He was making great money and building absolutely nothing. No real savings, no investments, no safety net, just bills and debt and more bills. That night, Daniel couldn't sleep. He kept thinking about one uncomfortable question. What happens if something bigger goes wrong? What if he lost his job? What if he got sick? What if something happened that couldn't be fixed with a credit card? The next weekend, he sat down and did something he had avoided for years. He wrote down every single expense, every subscription, every payment, every habit, and the truth was painful. He wasn't broke because he didn't earn enough. He was broke because he spent like tomorrow didn't exist, because deep down he had been trying to look successful instead of becoming secure. Slowly, he started making changes, not dramatic ones, painful ones. He moved to a cheaper apartment. He sold the car and bought a reliable used one. He canceled subscriptions he forgot he even had. He stopped trying to look successful and started trying to become stable. For a while, it was embarrassing. His lifestyle went backwards. His ego took a hit. He started saying no to things he used to say yes to. He started choosing peace over appearance, but his stress started to disappear. The first time his savings crossed $5,000, he felt something he had never felt before. Peace. Not excitement. Not pride. Peace. 2 years later, Daniel was still making good money. But now he was also saving consistently, investing quietly, sleeping better. From the outside, his life looked simpler, but on the inside, it was finally strong. Today, Daniel still enjoys life. He still travels. He still eats out sometimes. He still buys nice things. But now, he buys them with a plan, not with hope, not with debt, because he learned the lesson most people learn too late. It's not how much you make. It's how much you keep. If you make a lot of money but save nothing, you're not rich. You're just a well-paid broke person.